we on air?
We are.
Got me.
Oh.
All right, Italy recap. We started the trip in Rome, but Benjamin and Ashley had a little bit of a hard start.
We had a passport mix-up, and we left a valid passport at home and took an invalid passport. Somehow got out of the country, and then Rome told Ashley to go home.
They said, what are the next steps? They said, go home.
So we rushed back to the U.S. on the next available transatlantic flight. Quickly got to Chicago after a couple flights, and then we were on the first flight out of Chicago, so very quick turnaround.
And by we, he so kindly is adding himself to me, the one that forgot.
We had a great time in Rome. We spent 3 days there.
I like the Trevi Fountain.
I'm gonna go with Colosseum. That's always been on my bucket list, and I just love Roman history.
Sistine Chapel. I really like the Sistine
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Chapel.
the Sistine Chapel in Rome.
All the stories on the ceiling and walls.
Yeah.
Probably Coliseum. It was very cool.
I like the Colosseum because we got to go on the stage.
Yeah.
That was really cool to be able to do that. But the Trevi Fountain was really pretty.
I wish we'd climbed the Spanish Steps.
We can go back to Rome sometime.
I'm never going back to Rome. I liked Rome. I just never want to go back. It was a lot of people. I'm glad I saw it, but never have a desire to see it again. Anyone have any great food that they ate in Rome?
Carbonara.
The pizza restaurant?
Yeah, but I got pasta.
Yeah, the only place I've been able to find sausage pizza.
Yeah.
Italian sausage.
Italian
It's
sausage.
Italian sausage.
Now we're on to
Florence.
What was everyone's favorite part of Florence?
Seeing David.
Yeah, David, Michelangelo's
Yeah,
David.
yeah.
And not just from the magnitude of how large it is, but the detail, like the veins on the hands. You know, one hand was hanging down, so the veins were prominent. One hand he was holding up, and if you do that with your hand, your veins become less prominent. So all those little kinds of details.
Yeah, I thought the coolest fact was that he studied corpses
That's
to
creepy.
get it right.
Learning about Michelangelo was really interesting. Getting to see two of his only two-dimensional pieces of work.
My favorite part of Florence was Tuscany, the countryside. The pasta making was really fun, but just like the scenery in general and getting out of the city.
My favorite part of Florence was definitely, without a question, was the pasta making. I can take that back home and play with it.
being like walking around the city at night when it was like calm.
Oh,
It was
yeah.
So well lit. Felt like you were like in a movie.
Yeah. And the weather's been great except
Yeah.
for just about an hour in Tuscany.
Yeah, when we were in Tuscany, there was an hour where it poured like crazy, and we got stuck in a rainstorm.
I think my favorite part was the city as a whole. I felt like Florence was fairly small but well lit, still crowded but not like overly crowded, so it was still like not a sleeping city. So I really enjoyed the city itself.
I just got to document this. My least favorite was the leather demonstration, which was non-existent. It was a sales pitch to buy leather jackets and purses. 30 minutes of my life I'll never get back.
But you did a great job modeling.
Yeah.
I did.
Any good food? And
All the truffle stuff here has been so good.
yeah, everything truffle. Everything
So
truffle. Venice was my favorite of all three places.
Clear.
There's still crowds, but it feels less. I don't know if it actually is less or if it just feels less crowded, but it seems quieter, prettier. I love Venice.
It is really cool.
Well, it's also, there are no cars.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's cool.
the traffic probably
I like that part
makes
of
a
it.
difference.
We did the mask making, traditional masks here.
We all make pretty good.
Yeah, all of
Even
our
Beckham.
masks ended up super different, which I really liked. I think each one showed our personality really well. Even Beckham's showed his personality really well.
And
Worms shows Beckham's personality really well.
You, me, mom, and dad made one of the 4 elements.
What'd you make?
Fire, air, earth, and water.
I had my hesitancies about the mask making, but it turned out to be really fun.
And yours turned out really good. All of them
It
turned
does,
out really
yeah.
good.
And then we culminated the day with the gondola ride.
That was
Yeah.
nice.
Oh,
was
Gondola
so
ride was
good.
relaxing.
Taking a 1-year-old on a gondola will definitely speed up your heart rate, but he behaved really well, and we made it through.
Except-
Yesterday, we went to Cafe Florian, which depends on who you ask. Some say it's the oldest coffee shop in the world. Some say it's the oldest bar in Europe. Some say it's the 4th oldest coffee shop in the world. It's a very old coffee shop. They had jazz music, and we all got drinks and ice cream. Felt very Italian. It was probably
Venetian.
very touristy, but very,
Very Venetian.
very Venetian.
Very, yeah.
And quickly say your high and your low of the whole trip together.
Okay, my high would have to be the Sistine Chapel. My low, without a doubt, was finding out that Benjamin Ashley had turned around and gone back to the United States. A close second on that is our leather demonstration.
Dang,
Close
I love it.
second.
Let's see, my high, I guess, was... I liked Venice. I like pretty much everything about Venice. The low, absolutely, that whole surreal feeling about Benjamin and Ashley not being allowed into the country the first time around.
My high was mask making because my sweet husband took care of Beckham so I could actually paint. My low was night 1 in Rome. Beckham was up from 1 a.m. to 6 a.m. He screamed for 5 hours, never stopped screaming. There was nothing we could do to get him to be calm.
My high, we actually didn't really talk about St. Peter's Basilica, or St. Mark's.
Oh,
Mark's.
yes. I love that.
It was really cool. I think that's the point in the entire trip that I appreciated having a guide the most. But you walked in and it told the whole story of creation on the ceiling, and then Bible elements and Bible stories, things with the apostles, and it was just so pretty and so many details. I felt like I could stay in there for hours. I've been trying to decide the point in the journey back to America that was my low, and I think it was the police escort back into the terminal.
How do you feel about now having an Interpol file?
I love it.
So-
My low, my Ray-Bans got stolen. My high, probably just a lot of the architecture in general. Because, like, everything that we see back in the States is only late 18th century. Everything here is, 2, 3, 4 times that old.
So I think my low was probably the separation from Ashley when she was being escorted away from the border. So the uncertainty wasn't great because at that point in time I didn't know what was happening. My high was probably, it's a toss-up between mask making and the pizza and gelato has been phenomenal.
He brings up gelato a lot.
Yeah, it's like,
And I support it.
I appreciate it.
We were eating gelato, and he's like, "Should we go get some gelato?"
Yeah.
My high was before the torrential downpour, just during the sprinkle in Tuscany. Beckham really wanted an umbrella, and he was so appreciative of my umbrella. And
His
just,
specifically.
yeah, and it was just the cutest thank you and most sincere thank you I've ever heard from him, and it just melted my heart.
What did he say?
Dadu, which is Beckham for thank you. Low was leaving Beckham's iPad in the bookstore of the museum. As soon as I exited the bookstore, I was like, where's the iPad? And I knew that I had the last control of it. And Sarah was like, I don't know, what'd you do with it? And I was like, I don't know. But God let it be exactly where I left it. And so I just retraced my steps and found it.
I think Beckham's favorite.
Let him tell it.
Yeah.
Beckham's low of the trip was either night 1 in Rome, when he couldn't sleep, or when he peed all over himself and all over Worm.
I don't think Beckham.
But his high by far of the trip was riding the carousel with his mom and dad. He loved seeing all the neighs and riding the ponies, and it was super sweet. Italy 2023.
All right.
Ciao.
Ciao.